Weirdest of all weird celebrity couples right now burning up the internet has to be Bianca Censori and Kanye West, Wheezy, and his other names that he's known by. And let's just say, what in the world? I have been thinking of doing these two for several months now, ever since the weird videos that were coming out on their Italian trip where she was barely clothed and acting so bizarre. It's almost as if these two are in their own world and had forgotten that in day-to-day life, we tend to like to put clothes on. So what is the story with these two? My name is Lydia Nitya. This is Karma Chameleon. On the Feng Shui and Bazi Astrology channel, we often cover the charts of famous people to better understand our own lives, our own charts and relationships. Welcome. If this is of interest to you, please subscribe. You can also be a super subscriber and hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. Wow. So we are heading into our year of the dragon, and it's going to be an interesting ride with these two. Let's unpack their charts. So, Bianca Censori, I don't have a time of birth, so we can't really get a good gauge on how strong a day master she is. But it's interesting to note that both of these people are born on a day of a yang fire monkey. And this is also an interesting thing to recognize that Kanye, you remember, has one of the most out of balance charts I've ever seen. His ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, also is a fire person, also extremely strong in her fire element. And I think this is what someone like Kanye is gravitating towards. He has so much of his own element. And I mean, I don't know that I have seen anyone else who has had, that has that big of their own element. It's so much fire. And I've spoken before, there's so many celebrities out there who have really big self elements. And I think that it really speaks to the fact that people in the public need a strong personality. And for her as a fire person with the three pillars that we have, she comes out as pretty balanced. She's born in the year January 5th, 1995, which is the last day of December, according to the lunar Chinese calendar, and be a month before the start of a new year. So it's interesting that she's so cusp-like, right? And it would be even more interesting if her time of birth were between 11 and 1 in the morning, 11 p.m. and 1 in the morning, being that she's in the cusp of a day. And people like that tend to be very kind of 1 foot in one world, 1 foot in the other. It's very hard for them to find stability in life because they're really in between things, always in between things. So she's born the year of a yang wood dog, month of yang fire rat, and the day of, again, yang fire monkey, just like Kanye. When you look at what these two are looking for in a relationship, this is what is making it work. She's looking for a father figure, an older man with money. And this could very well be a romance that is a product of infidelity, okay? He is looking for the same thing. He's looking for someone that he can be a father-like figure to, which means he's looking for that patriarchal authority. He wants to be the authoritarian, the one in control of the relationship. And that within this, he is also looking for, when you drill down deeper with these two, they both find challenge, criticism, somebody that is insubordinate, somebody that is challenging the authority. So there's a struggle, a power struggle, that they both kind of need that underlying tension. But there's also a lighter piece to this relationship, which is that they both are looking for someone to do creative projects with, to be active together. And you see them, they're traveling a lot, they're going a lot of places, doing a lot of things. And that is definitely something that drives both of them in a relationship. So there is that. The other thing that's interesting to note is that both of these people are very, very creative and innovative. And the fact that she's an architect speaks directly to that. These are very creative people who love to have their hands, whether in an art project, a music project, a building project, all of those things. And they both, this is another interesting piece, they both are looking or needing in their life to be the leader and the authority. They both have strong leadership skills, and they both can be abrasive, aloof, self-involved, irrational in their emotional responses. Now we see more of that with him. With her, she seems to play more of this almost like a dog and pony show. I mean, it's like she is out on parade. I mean, he might as well put a leash around her, right? And so it feels to me like there is some of this authority in which, for whatever reason, she has lost her agency. She is not in, from what we can see, on the outside looking in on a private relationship, right? But from the outside, it looks like she has lost her agency of herself and is no longer an active architect. She's not working. She's not going out shopping, buying her own clothes, dressing herself even. I mean, that's, and Kim Kardashian did this too. I don't know if in her TV show, in the show that she's on, if Kim has talked about what that was like to have your husband be your stylist, to be the one that's basically the authority telling you how your day is organized. I don't know about you, but that sounds like hell to me. I need way more freedom in a relationship than that. This is like, come under the covers with me and try not to suffocate. His chart is too yang, too hot, too dry. This is a volatile chart. This speaks of someone, especially given the fact that it's the fire element, someone that could very likely have severe mental issues, along the lines of schizophrenia, which has been talked about with Kanye West. And who are we sitting here today to diagnose that? But his behavior speaks to somebody that is very erratic, and I think that sometimes celebrity leads people into a very shifted reality. And when we look at breaking down where they are in their luck cycles, this is an interesting thing to note, okay, is that for Bianca, her new luck cycle, which starts this year, 2024, is bringing in a full metal trio, which is surging in the element that she controls. Then you look at the year 2024 is bringing in a big surge of water. Water is what rules her. So these two are interesting together. We also notice that she's born in the year of the dog, which is under attack in the year of the dragon. And this is going to, it's going to weaken her own fire self, and it is going to weaken her ruling element of water, which is not only her career, but it's also her marriage. Both of those seem to be wobbly this year. And as Earth surges, it's almost like a rewind back to what is it that I want to be doing, right? More than what do I want to be controlling, or what do I want to be ruled by? What do I want other people to have authority over me with? It's a very interesting shifting time for her. From the age of 19 all the way till now, she's been in a luck cycle that mirrors her year, Yang Wood Dog. And this has been very much about her education. I mean, she just finished graduating with a master's in architecture in 2020. So this was all about her education. It's also been about her creative pursuits and her her creative pursuits. And tucked into that has been travel and money, and kind of figuring herself out. So now 2024, she's 29 years old. This will run through her till she's 38 years old. This new luck cycle is a yin water rooster, which really is a shift for her. This is speaking more about her responsibilities and her romantic relationships, marriage specifically. It speaks of money, wealth, travel, property. And this speaks very strongly. But she is now headed into 20 years of void, because she has two void animals, like we all do, which is rooster and monkey. So that means her own day pillar is in void, which means that it's harder to hold on to relationships. It's hard to, there can be emotional distance or physical distance, as in, you know, if Kanye were to go on tour and left her behind, which we know he wouldn't do because he needs to be in control of everything around him, because everything is him. Everything is a direct reflection of him. Like she is his moving fantasy world, right? And it's kind of crazy. So as she's moving into this new luck cycle, any of these pieces, because of the void times really are a question mark, where your forecast of more responsibilities, family, home, husband, could all come up with difficulty and struggle and not getting into gear, not flowing easily. A lot of obstacles, including her wealth. So all of this feels shaky in the next 10 years. It could all flow beautifully, or it could slide sideways. So there's that. This year, because they're both born on the day of Yang Fire, for both of them, this year is about faith. It's about learning. It's about their spiritual journey, which is kind of interesting because he has a church. And I'm wondering if she isn't going to be involved with that this year. And then 2024, Year of the Dragon, speaks of them doing creative projects together. Maybe they're going to build something. That would almost make sense, especially if they built a church. My God, that would be so literal, right? And there are legal things they're going to have to deal with as well. This speaks of the mother, and for her, this speaks of her marriage, work, responsibilities. For him, it speaks of work, responsibilities, and not marriage, but his relationship with his daughters. Okay, so the piece here that we need to really watch for 2024 for Kanye and Bianca. For her, being born in the year of the dog means that this is a tough, challenging year for her. So any of the forecasts that I have just said for her could slide sideways. For instance, let's say they did build a church together, all right, which really and truly in a lot of ways, I could see that happening. This is like one of those things when you add that there's a void, then you add that there is this conflict with the dog and the dragon, which, weakens her. It weakens her, her water, which is her authority, her marriage, her work. There is so much with her chart in 2024 that just suffice it to say, everything she touches could fall apart. Everything that looks stable could slide sideways. Okay, so would this be a year that I would institute building something with my partner? Maybe I would just plan. Given all of these pieces, maybe I would plan and think of implementing next year. For Kanye, this is even more personal. This dragon year is banging up against the dragon in his career. And this is also impacting his relationship with his children. This is a real hard hit, and it is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. So suffice it to say, these two, they belong together. That's all there is to it. It may not make sense to us. It might look super weird and funky. But these two, both being born on the day of a Yang Fire monkey, the shenanigans, the what the heck, these two deserve each other. And I know that might seem really weird, but that's how it lands with these two. And I think it's going to be an interesting thing to see where they go together. So until next time, friends, be well. Thank you.